Peace and blessings, love and light, and welcome to day 164 of the 365-day challenge. It's your girl, Kim, and happy Friday. I hope that you all are having a spectacular day and that you're continuing in your healthy habits to make overall wellness a habit. Okay, so we've been talking about exercise this week. We talked about the importance of choosing an exercise plan that is right for you. And that plan is something that's going to, be in alignment with any restrictions that you may have, any things that you may have like bad knees or a bad back, that you're doing exercises that are going to cater to some of those things that you may have restrictions about. And so talked about personalizing an exercise plan for yourself. We also talked about oral health. I had a procedure done this week. I had a tooth extracted, and I spoke about gum disease, and I spoke about the fact that, if we have poor oral health, that it's hard for the food to process or for us to properly process our food, and we're sending chunks of food into our stomach, and that can cause problems because it's causing our organs to work harder than they need to. Okay, and then we also talked about making sure that we are chewing our food properly. We talked about the 7 steps to chewing your food and making sure that we're savoring it and then making sure that we are taking time to properly digest our food and that we're taking sips of water and not full glasses of water where we're causing the digestive juices that are in our stomach to be too diluted to break down the food like we need it to. So we talked about that. And then we also talked about allergies and some of the signs and symptoms. What are some things that you may be eating that you may not have been allergic to in the past, but all of a sudden you're finding that as you're getting older, you have intolerances to, like lactose intolerance. You have things like, you may not be able to eat pork or beef or things of that nature because your body doesn't process it well. Okay, so we talked about looking into those things, okay? And then we are going to talk about today mindful eating, okay? And that means that, number one, we're going to honor our food, honor the source of our food and where it comes from, and to show gratitude for the food that we're eating. And that comes sometimes in the form of saying grace or having a prayer over our food before we eat it. Okay? Want to talk about the importance of not being distracted while we eat. Okay, sometimes we only have that 30-minute window to eat, and we're trying so fast to eat our food quickly, but we're also going through our phones, or we're talking on our phones, or we're doing other things that are distracting us from taking the time to savor and to chew our food and to allow it to do what it's been intended to do. Okay, and then we also want to be careful not to skip any meals. Sometimes we get so caught up in the day that we don't pack snacks or have things readily available to eat, and so we get to the point where we're ravenous, and then we're not making the healthiest of choices because we didn't plan not to eat. Okay, we got so distracted and so caught up. We have to make sure that we're intentional about taking time to eat and to hydrate ourselves so that way we're functioning at an optimal level. So it's important for us to do that, okay? Make sure that you are not skipping meals. We're going to talk about intermittent fasting because fasting is different from skipping a meal, okay? So we want to make sure that we're doing that. It's a lot to digest, okay? No pun intended, okay? And so that'll do it for today. Make sure that you're taking time to mindfully eat. Go back and look at some of the things that we talked about over the last couple of days as we're preparing ourselves physically as we're going into the summer months and as we're continuing on our physical wellness journey. And with that, I say have a most spectacular day. Make sure that you are sprinkling your day with self-love and self-care. And until I see you guys tomorrow, I say peace.